welcome to Rewind Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly. Looking at myself in the screen, hating under my eyes, the bags.
It's fine. It's
Whatever.
all good.
I'm going to be 50. I really got to get over it.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Tonight we're talking about Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 14, episode number 3.
I have been fighting with people on Facebook all day under my own name. Not Rewind Whenever.
I don't care. Whatever.
I just can't believe the people who defend her. Listen, at this point, I'm not even commenting on people defending Teresa because I understand the tree huggers are in full force. It's the people coming after the Fudas saying that they're thirsty, they're making the show about themselves. I'm like, but they're honestly just defending themselves. That's my opinion, I guess.
I agree. I think that they are just defending themselves. If they didn't come after John Fuda, this wouldn't have even been a thing.
Right. And people are like, why didn't they pull out the proof at the reunion? But I think we talked about this. I think because of the ongoing litigation with Louie, they couldn't. They weren't able to.
Right. I watched Margaret last night on Watch What Happens Live. Mm-hmm. And, she talked about it. The Bravo saw it. The police saw it. Like, there's proof. They have plenty of proof.
I know Margaret's a shit stirrer. I take John Fuda for a stand-up guy. Mm-hmm. I think he has way more credibility than Louie. I think if he's got, I don't think he would say they contacted his ex if he didn't have proof that they contacted his ex. And of course she's going to deny it now, the ex. Of course she's going to deny it.
Right. Right. And that's the whole thing. And that's really what started this whole thing, is that Louie was digging into John Fuda's past.
Yep.
At the reunion. And then he just didn't let it go.
Yep.
He said he wanted to talk to John Fuda and squash things, but how are you squashing things when your wife is still, dropping these bombs and planting these stories?
Yep. There's no squashing it with them. And that's why John Fuda wouldn't go meet with them. And I don't blame him at all. I wouldn't go meet with him. I wouldn't go meet with him without cameras around, quite honestly, because he's going to say one thing, just like he did with Frank Catania. Because I saw an interview with Frank Catania. He says one thing while he's there, and then the whole story changes and gets twisted once they leave. So I wouldn't talk to him at all without a camera around. I would want everything recorded.
Yeah. No, you're probably right.
Even if they weren't going to air it, just so you have that on record.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. So, no, that's all right. So it starts out with the next morning, the morning after the party, the Nate party. And Jenn Fessler's explaining what she had said to Teresa at the party, because they were all like, what was that conversation about? And she said, well, she was referring to the reunion and how she said you never used your receipts. And she was just, explaining what she meant and exactly what it was she said. Because she said that you didn't execute things properly.
Because they twisted it. Right. Exactly.
And then Melissa Shorehouse, it's Joe and Margaret, and they're talking about Joe's birthday party because it's Joe Gorga's birthday. Mm-hmm. And Margaret's talking about how she was talking to Dolores and how Dolores felt funny leaving Jen Aydin there by herself because Teresa and Louie were going back up north for Gabriella getting ready to leave.
Yeah, and I don't blame Dolores for feeling that way.
No, I don't either.
That's a very Dolores way to feel.
Yeah, she has, but, it is what it is. And then Joe did reach out to Bill and invite him.
How good did that Turkish breakfast look, by the way?
Not for me.
No, not for you?
I mean, olives and feta, all the stuff you like.
I love it.
I know.
I'm like, damn, that looks good. And I like to see that side of Jen Aydin. I like to see that, she cooks. I love to see that side of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she would just stop producing, and stop, being Teresa's minion.
Exactly. It
would be a different show. It would be a different show.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that Teresa wouldn't invite Jen because they weren't speaking to each other. But listen, when Joe called up Bill and said, I miss you, man. I really would love for you to come. That was an olive branch.
It was an olive branch.
Bill could have said, let me talk to my wife, Jen. And
I bet you Jen would have went. Yeah,
and see what she says. I bet you she would have went too.
I do think she would have went. But I think that Bill did the right thing by saying what he said, But like you said, he could have gone the other route as well. And I think they would have wound up going and had a good time.
Yeah, I mean, after that whole thing happened, Jen did say in the confessional that she was happy that Bill finally has her back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was nice.
I mean, yeah, because he really, he's very absent. He's very absent. He shows up when he wants to show up. Let's be real.
Yeah.
These events are happening on the weekends or Friday nights at 10 o'clock. He's not doing surgery.
No, he's not.
He's a plastic surgeon. He makes his schedule when he wants to do his schedule.
Right.
There is no, come on.
Right. Agreed. I totally agree with you.
Then Teresa's home with her girls, and they're on FaceTime with Joe Giudice, and they all start crying.
I got to be honest with you. I totally fast forwarded through this. I cannot watch it.
You can't.
No, but go ahead, recap, because
I'll recap it for you. So they all start crying. Gia is really sad to see Gabriella go. Melania and Gabriella are really close. I mean, they used to fight when they were younger, but they're only 16 months apart in age.
Yeah.
And Melania's like, she's worked so hard for this. Like, she's always studying. Like, she's worked for this. And, she's proud of her sister.
Right.
And even Gia, I like that they have each other's backs. I do like that. I like that for a family.
Yeah.
Especially considering what the parents are doing in this situation, right?
Yeah. I mean, those girls have been through a lot. I don't particularly like Gia. I know you don't. I just can't stand her, Teresa, Louie. Like, I can't watch it, but I do think the other girls are sweet, and I feel bad for what they've been through.
Yeah. Listen, I've always liked this. I like when they have the family scenes. I like when I get to see them, being real.
Mm-hmm.
So you missed this part then, because the producer asked Teresa if Joe is helping pay for college, her ex, and she said no, he's not in a position to do that. And then they said, well, is Louie helping pay for college? And she said yes.
She's so full of shit. That is definitely not happening.
Well, she said yes. And then Andy reiterated it on Watch What Happens Live with Margaret.
Oh, I did see that, because I thought Margaret, I thought her response was very nice. Like, yeah, that's a stand-up thing to do. Good for him. Very nice. I don't believe it. Okay. Not Margaret saying this. I don't believe it for a second, but okay.
All right. And then Louie and Teresa are talking about John Fuda and the night before at Nate's celebration of life party.
Did Louie call him ugly, John Fuda? Because I saw a lot on social media
there
about
was
that.
Something he said about his looks, and I don't know what it was. He did say something about his looks. I don't know what he said.
It was all over social media today.
Yeah.
The lobster saying commenting on somebody else's looks.
Yeah. It's like, why? Grow up.
Exactly. How old are you?
Right. Grow up. And then John Fuda got Joe Gorga the blow-up doll for his birthday.
I saw that. That was good. That was really good.
It was funny. Melissa's like, you're embarrassing your child. And he's like, I saw it already. No big deal.
I love Gino and
Joey.
And Joey and
Antonia.
And Jaden. I love their friendship. They're so cute.
Yeah. They are cute. Cute. And then Jackie and Evan were there.
I had a feeling they showed up. I am just curious. I guess maybe they would feel awkward staying at Melissa's house if they weren't there. Like, why they didn't come the night before and stay at Melissa's. But
probably. Yeah.
Maybe they just felt awkward.
And then Frank and Brittany were there. It was good to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Then Margaret tells Rachel that Joe called Bill to invite him and that he declined. Rachel felt close to Jenn Fessler and she felt betrayed by her. Mm-hmm. And people are not understanding that. I get it. I do understand it.
So not understanding it. It's ridiculous. That's half of my fights on social media today.
Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, what don't you get? That's her friend. That's her best. Like, because people are like, oh, you ride or die for her. You just met. I, I met Liz Vesey when the girls were in kindergarten. We clicked. We never looked back.
Right.
I didn't have to know her before that.
Right.
And look at 20, well, not 20 years, 15 years later, we're still tight. Like sometimes you just click.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And she felt betrayed. And I personally would have felt the same way.
Yeah, especially after the fact that it just happened, you know, that she was coming after her husband.
Absolutely.
And you're staying at her house. And John Fuda told you how he felt about the whole situation.
Yes.
Like.
And when Jenn Fessler was talking to Teresa, she said, so you didn't mean now, you meant when he was younger. And Teresa's like, absolutely. And she was like, Teresa. Like she was even like calling bullshit. Like, no, you didn't. So this woman is alleging that your friend's husband is a drug dealer, like a big baller.
Right.
He sold weed at 17 years old.
Right.
There's a big difference, and that's so damaging to somebody's character and livelihood.
The whole two-sided dildo thing.
That part is so fucking ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, right?
It's so ridiculous.
I mean, all the guys keep making fun of it.
Which, of course, they're going to. As they should. As they should, because it's a big fucking joke. Because there's no way that, I mean, listen, even if it were true.
Right.
Why would he need a two-sided dildo, though?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't think men use double-sided dildos. I think that's for women. I could be wrong.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
There's only one place for them to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't make sense. Teresa is so stupid. And if you could even imagine, she's married to someone just as fucking dumb. It's like Dumb and Dumber.
This is true. This is
like
very true.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
I know. It's very true. It is very true.
Yeah.
So what else? So then they are all at the goodbye dinner for Melania. Did you see that?
No, I fast forwarded through that too. I can't take it. I did see a scene though where I guess it was Teresa and Louie talking, and Teresa said that John Fuda caused a scene with the manila folder. He caused a scene. They were at the reunion. They weren't causing a scene. And that he's pushing a narrative. They're doing what they're saying he's doing.
Right. What narrative is he pushing? That he didn't do any of this stuff.
Exactly. You're pushing the narrative that he is a drug dealer and that he likes double-sided dildos.
Right.
And he's just defending himself against that. I don't know why everybody doesn't see it.
I think the receipts that he had in the manila envelope were receipts about how they contacted his ex.
I believe so, yes.
Right? I mean, that's what that was about.
That's what I thought.
This is the thing I still don't even really get. Like, Bo Dietl contacted Andy and said that he's not investigating any of the housewives, even after Louie made that allegation and after the reunion. But it's obvious that they were. He was.
Right. Oh, so I mean, that guy's not credible at all. That guy has to have lost business from this. He has to have. I mean, they said something just came out that, well, you sent it to me. They both said under oath that they sent, right, people into Vanessa's office to act as patients, to pose as patients. Yes. I mean, neither one of them have any credibility anymore.
Right. Right. It makes no sense.
It's fucked up that they did that. Could you imagine this woman just trying to conduct business? I mean, I've been to counselors many times. I've never asked my counselor about themselves. That's not what I'm paying for.
Right,
I'm paying to talk about me, okay?
Right, right. And what kind of people do that? Like, they get paid to go pretend?
I mean, that's crazy. About who we're talking about. We're talking about Louie. Like, he's got I'm sure he's got scummy friends all over the place who are willing to do whatever he asks.
I remember Bethany talking about it way back when it came out. Like, she knew Bo Dietl. Like, that was a name that she knew.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bethany knew the name Bo Dietl and didn't really have great things to say about it. You know, because, listen, she grew up with, horse racing, and she grew up, like, I think her father knew him. Like, I think he was a part of, and that tells you a lot there too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What else do we have? Oh, I liked where Frank goes over to Dolores and Paulie and lets them know that he's going to Costa Rica with Brittany and that he's going to ask her to marry him.
Yeah,
and
I thought that was super sweet.
Yeah, it's just, he's such a class act. He really is.
He does. Have you noticed that he says "all right" like every other word when he's talking?
Yeah, yes, I did notice that.
I'm like, oh my God, it's like me with literally. All right. But yeah, I totally agree. He is a complete class act, Frank Catania.
Yeah,
I love him.
And I like his relationship. I like it with Dolores. I like it with Paulie.
When she said he had his boats and hose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, she's just how she handles him. It's hysterical.
Yep. Listen, she got 2 great children from him.
She sure did.
And they're good friends still. They're friends, and that's important.
Yeah, and it was cute when Dolores walked in the backyard, Joe and Melissa's backyard, and she saw the Gorga kids, and she was like, I'm going to cry. Like, look how big they are. Because, that's how you feel when you don't see someone's kids for so long. I mean, she sees them on the show, I guess, but like in person, and then all of a sudden they're like men.
It was probably like a year, right? It was probably about a year since she had seen them.
Yeah, because we figured that out. They kind of took like a year off. Yeah. Yeah.
And
so
at
then
that
they
age,
sit on the couch. Oh, go ahead.
At that age, they grow like weeds. Like, you can blink and they're like 4 inches taller.
Exactly.
In a year.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Especially the boys, because it's not, I feel like the girls grow quicker, but it's more gradual. The boys have spurts.
Yes.
At least, judging off my kids.
Well, actually, 2 of mine had spurts. Andrew never really had a spurt. Andrew's tall now. I mean, not.
He's just
crazy tall.
Gradually.
It was just like a gradual thing with him.
Yeah.
It wasn't ever like a big 3-inch, 1 year kind of thing like the other ones.
I feel like Joe grew 6 inches the first year we were on lockdown. That when we were in quarantine, because all he did was sleep and eat.
Yeah, and that's what you need to grow.
Exactly.
It's sleep and food.
Yeah.
So I was about to say about the dinner. They all went out to dinner for Gabriella's goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't want any part of that, though.
Nope.
And it wasn't a lot of people, though. It was basically just her family. It wasn't.
And Louie's son, right?
And Louie's son. Yeah, and Louie's son.
He seems like a nice kid.
He does seem like a nice kid.
Poor guy.
Guilty by association.
Exactly. Yeah, like he's just thrown into the wolves. Thrown into the lion's den.
Joe and Frank are talking about, Joe is saying how he missed Frank last night at Nate's party. I guess he wasn't invited.
I thought that was odd. I kind of was surprised that they weren't there, but I guess, they're not full-time cast members, so, but neither is Jenn Fessler.
But I don't even think they're cast members, are they? I mean, I guess they are. Frank has to be a cast member. He's always on the reunion.
Yeah, that's right. He is on the reunion.
So he's got to be a cast member, right?
Like maybe he's considered like a friend of. But Jenn fucking Fessler was there.
Yeah. Then Rachel starts crying when she's talking to Jenn Fessler and how much she values their friendship and that she felt like she didn't have her back. And Rachel feels hurt by her. And we talked about this. I get it. I totally get it.
Me too. I mean, she's not saying you can't be friends with her. And I don't think that that's what Margaret was saying either.
No.
That's what people kept saying. Like, who is she to tell? It's just, listen, if you and I disliked the same person and we shit talked that person over and over and over and over again, and then all of a sudden I see you cuddling up to that person's spouse, I'd be like, the fuck is going on?
Right.
It's a natural reaction.
Especially, I mean, Margaret kind of made it clear on Watch What Happens Live. She says one thing when cameras aren't rolling, and as soon as cameras come up, it's a different story. And
I don't think we're going to see Jenn Fessler after this season, quite honestly.
You don't?
I think Jenn Fessler is going to jam herself up this season because I personally don't think Teresa's coming back. I think either Teresa's going to leave on her own accord or they're going to ask her to leave. That's I could be wrong, but that's my personal opinion. And I think that Jenn Fessler is going to really jam herself up. I do think Jennifer Aydin will be back, though. And I hope she is. Well, you know what, though? That whole blogger thing, leaking the text, maybe she's not. You know what I was thinking?
What?
They have to be pissed at Jen Aydin and Teresa Bravo. Because Watch What Happens Live, premiere night, Dolores is on. Second week, Melissa. Third week, Marge. There's no talk of Teresa. There's no talk of Jen Aydin being on Watch What Happens Live.
No, there's not.
They weren't doing press. They
No,
were asked not to go to press.
Right, they were pulled from it.
So Bravo must really be angry.
I agree.
At them. And they should be. I saw 2 sneak peeks for next week's episode already on Bravo's Snark side and something else on Instagram. How are these people getting these clips?
I don't know. But I don't like that either. Like, I want to watch it. I don't want to get these. Like,
Exactly.
I mean, I don't want that. I don't like that.
I totally agree with you. I thought the same thing. I don't want to see this on Monday when the show's not on until Sunday.
Right. Exactly. I mean, we just watched it last night. Like,
right.
Don't, you know.
Right. It's just annoying.
It is annoying.
So impatient. Don't you remember when we were younger, we had to wait a whole fucking week to watch our shows?
Yes.
And then you had to race to the bathroom during commercials because you couldn't pause it.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, God, people really forget where they came from.
They sure do. They sure do. And then Jenn Fessler kind of like, she kind of storms out. You know, if you don't feel like I've been a good friend to you, then find yourself another friend. And she decides to leave. But this is after Jackie goes over there and kind of starts sticking up for her. And I don't think Jackie was the right person to be doing that. I mean, why is Jackie sticking her 2 cents in there?
Because she wants to be on the show, and she is she's going to do whatever she has to do to be on the show. She wants her full-time spot back. She's not getting it. You're not getting it. People hate you now.
Why would she want it? Why would she want a full-time spot?
I don't think she ever didn't want a full-time spot. That whole bullshit line of her taking a step back because of her recovery, they didn't ask her back full-time. They gave her a friend role, and she has been spiraling, I think, ever since. And if she was smart for her own mental health, she would just get off the show completely.
Yeah, I agree.
She's not getting that full-time spot back. She even made a comment about Melissa that, what'd she say? Rachel's Melissa's mouthpiece or something, so Melissa can keep her full-time spot. I thought, bitch, please. Either Melissa's going to go or she's going to be full-time. They're never going to give Melissa a friend role. That's ridiculous. Just like they would never do that to Teresa. It's ridiculous.
No, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, but Jackie said that. I have written down here, Jackie and Jenn Fessler can fuck all the way off.
Oh, you are serious.
I was so upset after that conversation because I just feel like Rachel Fuda is a very genuine person, and to see her sitting there so upset, and they're both like cackling hags about it, like it's all for TV. Like they're not being genuine at all.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. I saw something on Instagram where they had a picture of Rachel Fuda and Amanda Petula side by side, and they're both the same age.
Are they really?
Yes, they're both the same age.
You know, I got to be honest with you. I keep forgetting that Kyle's 40, right? Kyle Cook is 40.
I think he may be 41 now.
Yeah, because he doesn't act it.
No.
And she is almost 10 years younger than him. To me, she seems like she's in like her late 20s.
Yeah.
Wow. They're the same age. And look at the difference in lifestyles.
Yes, exactly.
By choice, of course, by choice.
Yes, definitely by choice. I just thought that was interesting.
That is very interesting. I would have thought Rachel was older, not because she looks it, but just because of her life.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I did see something, I don't know. I mean, this isn't about New Jersey. It's actually about Summer House. I saw something that Kyle in the after show admitted that Loverboy was not doing well. Did you see that?
I just saw something before we hopped on here. That he, because the episode, I guess, ended with him arguing with Sierra and Paige.
Right.
And he said something in the after show like, I appreciate them sticking up for their friend, but they don't know what's really going on. And we have 30 employees and they have kids and newborns and mouths to feed. So I guess he was I didn't hear the whole thing. That's all I heard. But maybe he goes on to say more. But to me, that's him alluding to that they're not doing well.
No, I heard he lost like $2 million.
Well, I mean, a 4-pack is like $20-something.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, not to sound cheap, but...
No, but that's a lot of money for 4 drinks.
It is a lot, especially 4 drinks that, you're not... Are you even going to catch a buzz? I mean, I don't know what the alcohol percentage is.
And isn't it just like the
It's
spiked seltzer? Yeah, it's like a vodka seltzer, like every other one out there, but this one's called Loverboy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then Craig is now doing one too.
I saw that.
Yeah,
he's promoting another one, right?
Yeah.
Is it his or is he promoting it?
I don't think it's his. I mean, he may be partners in it.
But I thought that was a little fucked up that he was promoting somebody else's.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that whole situation is, but I did think that was a little interesting, though, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And then, we talk about this. It's going to drop on Thursday. A little bit about that Diddy video that came out. Well, then after that came the Diddy apology. I'm sure you saw it.
Yeah, right? I saw it. Listen, I believe that everyone makes mistakes, especially when they were younger, and everybody deserves a second chance. But not only did you do that and not take accountability for it, you paid to have that buried. That to me, you are not remorseful. But I think that was it.
We kind of briefly text about this. So Melissa and Joe on their last podcast, they did callers calling in.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed listening to that. I guess the next episode is more callers because they had so many callers calling in that they couldn't fit it in on one show. So we have to, I think she had said that they're going to put it on their Instagram when they're doing it. There. We're going to have to try and get on there and, chat with Joe and Melissa.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Maybe we could ask them to invite us to their next party.
Yeah, or even just to pop on our podcast and say hi.
Well, that would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
It would be. Until next time. Oh, go ahead.
Listen, if you're at Seaside Boardwalk this weekend, we might be up there polling people about Real Housewives of New Jersey.
We might be. Be on the lookout for the We Wine Whenever girls.
Mm-hmm.
And we might have the one who you don't see with us.
That's right.
That may be the only way you ever get to see her is if you meet us out in person, because we don't make her put a bag on her head when we go out with her.
No, we do not. We do not. If she wants to, she can, because she's kooky like that. But we don't make her.
No, we don't. Thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly. Bye.
Bye.